I'm saying now are bringing us into my third question. Because the problem is, you may not feel any pressure around your Christian life, and that is not proof that you are powerful. It may be that your light is dim. That there is nothing convicting about your essence. You talk the way everybody talks. You dress the way they dress. You go to the places that they are not going. You see, what creates the largest portion, because I did some bit of statistical labor, and I'll show you as we go on. Globally, what is found to have caused most persecution is not Christians doing what Christians do, is Christians not doing what every other person does. That there are lines of activity. Because of Jesus, I cannot do this. And so they are persecuted. Do you know how many people who have graduated celebrating that they graduated well, whose A's and B's are lecturers' beds? And when we come and say, no, stand for Jesus, some people now came and said, every time you stand for Jesus, he helps you. But Paul says that persecution is endured. He delivers, but sometimes it's not instant. People have extra years. That's the stories that our fathers told, that they had extra years. Some of them lost traveling opportunities. Now the average Christian is trying to manipulate traveling like there's gold in the UK. People falsify ages. People falsify account details and ask God to help them through the process. The church currently celebrates everything that shines. We do not know that God has his ways. And what God uses to advertise himself is not just his acts, it is his ways. When I was walking through Bowen this afternoon, I was humming the song, "You are glorious, so glorious in your ways." You know what it means? It means if we produce two phones, two people came to say, "Oh, well, thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. We got phones. We got phones." And the church celebrates with them. How God advertises himself is not in the phone. It's how the phones were got. I was speaking with my brother, the prophet Adesoji Adekunle, on Wednesday. He was with us in the hospital. And then we were sharing testimonies how in our own little way we are seeing God prospering us. He now said something. I think he wrote it on his status too. He said, "Sir, you know why our story is sweet? It's because what we are enjoying has no corruption in it." And that's how God stands out. John, if you steal, you will buy a car. If you steal, you will build a house. But what you have done is that you have deprived God of the privilege to glory in that thing. You can say, Jesus be glorified, but God is not glory hungry. He does not steal glory. We are not afraid of hardness. Do you know what we do with students? How many of you have sold your school fees since you have come here? Do you know that people sold school fees? Really? And I don't mean sowing school fees for building project. People sow school fees because pastor wants to buy something. Okay, you are lucky, you don't even know. It's common. How can you be pastoring a student group and you don't have plenty money? School fees, housing fee. I was watching. This was not even students. The pastor came and said, the Lord said that where he is now, he should drive a Range Rover. So he decided to factor the cost. I think it was $300 per person. They had done a head count. It was not in Nigeria anyway. And then in the shillings of that country, $300 was almost like 30,000 of the currency. But they use shillings in that country. You can find the country. But there are many countries in Africa that use shillings. So the people were to bring that money because the pastor wanted to buy a car. And decided to bless them in advance for bringing the money on Sunday. How did he bless me? Receive your cars. And my question is, Oga, why didn't you receive your own? If cars are supposed to be received like that, why do they need to give to you to buy your own? But their own will be received of God. When a minister does it long enough, the people become dull of understanding. And so you need to be an outsider to analyze. Because if you raise this issue with the church members, they will fight you. Say, no, God blesses our pastor through us, but he blesses us directly. So sometimes if you get into a circle of pastors and you share how God did what he did, you become an enemy. Because your life is a conviction. That you stole from no man. That you never lied to any man to advance. It's a conviction. That's the power of light. And it is in our lightedness that persecution is created.